we've skewed the lines. We are no longer raising women in our culture. We are raising men who happen to be biologically capable of having children. That's what we're raising. And then only if it doesn't interfere with career goals. That's what we're raising. We're raising women to conduct themselves like men, like one of the boys, to be loud and boisterous and inappropriate, and to draw undue attention to themselves, both in their conduct and in their dress. That is irreverent. And it's happening because we have an epidemic of unprotected women. Because just like the illustration we heard earlier, if the young woman is out at midnight on the corner with a bunch of hoodlums, you want to bring them back to their fathers. I feel the exact same way when I see the way some young women dress. And I want to bring them home to their dad, and I want to say, hey, I brought her to you because I'm sure that you didn't see her leave the house this way. And beyond that, I'm sure that somebody went and bought these clothes without you knowing it, snuck them in the back of her closet, and you never saw them, because had you been aware that these were even in her closet, you would have gotten rid of them. That's why I brought her here to you. But you and I both know, dads who have daughters who dress inappropriately take one of two tacts. Tact number one is this tact of, yeah, I understand, but that's the style, these days. Or tact number two, he wants her to look like that. He likes the attention that she draws when she dresses like that. Both of those are completely and utterly inappropriate. Utterly inappropriate. And I say this as the father of a 17-year-old daughter. I realize how difficult it is to buy and find modest clothes. I realized it when my daughter was 12. I did. Again, does this mean, turtlenecks in the summer and all this sort of... That's not my point. That's not my point. Men, what we're looking for is a woman who, whenever she prepares herself to go out, asks this question: to what aspect of my person am I drawing attention today? And is that honoring to Christ? You want a woman who presents herself in totality, everything about her like that, as though she is looking in the mirror and saying, to what aspect of my person am I drawing attention? By the way that I act, by the way that I dress, to what aspect of my person am I drawing attention? That tells you a great deal about a woman. Men, if you are around a woman and you find yourself, doing, the male neck exercise, I call it the male neck exercise, because I find myself having to do that. A lot of times women are dressed so inappropriately and there's so much cleavage there, or the shirt is so tight, revealing the shape of their breasts, that I find myself doing this in order to exaggerate, so that I don't find myself going. If she's a woman who makes you constantly have to do the male neck exercise, either there's some more discipleship that needs to happen, or she has just told you what she thinks is the most important thing about her. She has just communicated to you what she thinks is the most important thing about her. Why? Because that's the thing to which she is trying to immediately draw your attention. Reverent in her behavior. And again, these are things that many young ladies haven't heard. Many young ladies haven't had a father to sit them down and say, listen, your value and your worth is not contingent upon men lusting after you. And ladies, if you haven't heard that, let me say that to you right here and right now. Because that's the lie that the culture has sold to you. Your value and your worth is contingent upon how men lust after you. And from the minute you began to develop curves, this is the idea that the culture has thrust upon you. You see it everywhere. And so in order to feel valuable, you have to dress yourself and present yourself in such a way that you make people look at you. And so you walk around all the time like this and like this. But look at me. Look at me. It's because you don't know where your worth is. It's because you don't know where your value is. And so you've developed behavior that is irreverent because you don't know where your worth is and because you don't know where your value is. Look at me. You deserve to be honored and respected and protected, not demeaned. You are not a piece of meat to satisfy the sinful fleshly desires of a man. Your price is above rubies, the scriptures say. This outward beauty, it's fleeting. It will fade. It is useless. It is meaningless. But that meek and that quiet spirit, it's imperishable. And that's what's valuable about you. And it burdens me that you don't know that. It burdens me that your father never said that to you. I can tell by the way you present yourselves, some of you, that your father never said that to you. And you're yearning for male approval. And the only way you've learned how to get it is go to the most base part of the male nature. That's not it. That's not it. You must be reverent in your behavior. And if a man is not decent enough to be attracted to reverent behavior, you don't want him anyway.